On May 23rd, Prime Minister Narendra Modi won a second term in India. He won a landslide victory, winning 303 seats out of 543. His party bettered their previous record that they saw in 2014. In case you think I made this fanboy image, I did not, his party did. So the challenger to him was Rahul Gandhi from the Congress party. The party was completely decimated in the current elections. India currently has an opposition only on paper. His party won just 52 seats in this election. After the election, Rahul Gandhi, in fact, stepped down as Congress party president. So this is what the map of India currently looks like, with the BJP, sweeping the saffron all around very few opposition states currently. For those of you not familiar with the BJP or the Bharatiya Janata Party as they're known, they've transformed themselves into an election-winning machine. And they're a Hindu nationalist party. They have a very strong, clear, on-ground and offline campaign. They're also India's richest political party and early adopters. In fact, before Trump, they were the first ones to realize the power of social media, and they came to power in 2014, leveraging that. They're also very, very good with granular data. So this was a story reported by Hindustan Times in September last year, which said that the BJP actually has an action plan for every polling booth in India. There are about 900,000 polling booths in India. So what they plan to do was have a cell phone pramukh, or like a cell phone chief, that would create WhatsApp groups and distribute their material. That could be, videos, images, text, graphics, memes through these WhatsApp groups. So one of the things I found very similar to the elections in India was the parallel that it had with the elections in Brazil, which is that, if you saw depolarization, we saw messaging apps rife with misinformation. And the last 2 points are very important. Far-right campaigns actually benefit and know how to leverage when shit hits the fan. It's a fact. And lastly, misinformation during that time period is usually used to hijack the narrative. So 2 events that shaped how this election played out happened in about February. One was a terror attack. A suicide bomber on February 14 drove into a convoy of paramilitary soldiers, killing over 40 soldiers. It was one of the worst attacks that we saw in Kashmir. The country was wounded. There was a sentiment of hurt and wanting revenge. Soon after, the suicide bomber released a video. His image was cropped from that video and photoshopped onto a picture which showed the Congress party president. This is the original photo. And after this event on February 14th, we saw an onslaught, like an avalanche of misinformation that fell through. We saw videos and photos from Syria, Iraq being shared as India. We saw mock drills saying this is the Indian army. We saw images of soldiers and militants killed passed off as recent. The scale of misinformation was so great that the paramilitary force that was targeted in this attack launched their own internal fact-checking mechanism. In fact, when we spoke to them, they said, instead of grieving, we were looking for fake posts. The second event that sort of shaped this election was a retaliatory airstrike by India. So barely 2 weeks after the terror attack on February 14th, on February 26th, the Indian Air Force one morning came out and said, we've launched an airstrike on what we believe is a terror training camp across the line of control. Essentially what India had done was, this could be seen as triggering as an act of war. Soon after, this video went viral on social media. Oops. that video looked a bit ridiculous because it is. It's from a video game, but that video went around. It was super viral saying this is footage of the Indian Air Force destroying the terror camp in Pakistan. Till date, there has been no footage released by the Air Force. So amidst all that madness, just the very next day after that airstrike, Pakistan tried to retaliate. It sent across some planes to attack military installations. It was fended off by the Indian Air Force. During that process, we lost one of our pilots who was captured alive by Pakistan. Eventually, both countries at this point of time were at a standoff. All of us had forgotten that there was an election just 2 months away. We were thinking, okay, we're going to war. But thankfully, better sense prevailed, and Pakistan did eventually hand back that pilot. Soon afterwards, there was this picture which said, oh, look, the pilot that was captured by Pakistan has now come out and voted for the BJP. But that happened to be a doppelganger, and this is the actual pilot. If by now you're thinking this is like a really bad Bollywood movie, I don't blame you. So, I mean, yeah, it was no understatement to say that misinformation was rife during this period. One key theme of misinformation was nationalism. These are some statistics that we pulled together quickly, counting the unique messages or queries that we received on our WhatsApp helpline number. So we have a helpline number where we ask people to forward us messages and then we verify them. During the months of voting, in April, you see a spike, and that continues into May. The other theme that we saw, apart from nationalism, was communal polarization. So there's a lot of Hindu-Muslim communal polarization that's currently, even right now, ongoing in India. Often you have, videos from Bangladesh trying to project Muslims as a violent lot being shared with the context that it's happening in India. There was also a video of Rahul Gandhi visiting a dargah or a mosque, where he's wearing a white skull cap. It's not very clear in this video, but the caption claimed that he is secretly a Muslim. Therefore, 80% of the Hindu population of India should not vote for his party. So it wasn't only the BJP doing it, the other side was doing it as well. Divya Spandana was the Congress party's, okay, I have 2 minutes more, Congress party's social media head. Through this picture, she tried to make a comparison with Hitler. If you see the original photo, he's been photoshopped. Here's another one where we show the Pakistani flag. This one claimed Modi hired a makeup artist, but if you zoom in, you can clearly see that they were, taking measurements. Yeah. We also saw a lot of voter fraud, posts related to voter fraud and fake surveys such as this. This is about electronic voting machines. This one claims you can ask for a challenge vote if your name is not on the voter list. And this is my favorite. It's actually prosthetic fingers made for the Japanese Yakuza. But we also came across an instance of a fake politician that was created where we saw a number of videos that claimed this is politician Anil Upadhyay from BJP, and then some other post which claimed he belonged to the Congress party, and we did a deep dive and found out nobody by that name exists. So finally, I'll just end with this. Some of the themes that we saw, I went through nationalism, Hindu-Muslim polarization, integrity of electronic voting machines. Misinformation was mostly visual and visceral, images, videos, memes. We did not have that many data claims to fact check. Messages triggering outrage went viral more quickly. And finally, the left also did it, but it did not gain as much traction. I'm good on time? Okay, then we have more slides. All right, this is all right. This is the last one. So why is WhatsApp such a big vector of misinformation in India? It's because it has 400 million, we have 400 million WhatsApp users. That's practically about the same size of the population, more or less, that's online. Cheap data plans have enabled a lot of people to come online. Many of these people who've come online for the first time, they don't know how to tell fact from false news. And finally, misinformation thrives in regional languages. away from the scrutiny of fact checkers, which mostly operate in English and Hindi. All right, my time's up, and yeah. Thank you.